Today, I'm going to show you how to convert this analog gauge into a purely digital gauge that you can monitor from anywhere in the world. The material to set up should cost no more than $30. $20 for a cheap Wi-Fi cam with RTSP. Myself, I'm actually using this cheap Tapo camera as seen in this previous video. Then another $10 for this diopter adapter to view objects closer. This is an ancient heater. It heats up the cold water, then circulate the hot water throughout the radiators around the house to warm up the house in the winter. There is only one gauge to monitor the pressure and temperature right here. Both of these values are important. You definitely don't want the pressure to be above 25 psi. 12 through 25 is normal. The temperature should not exceed 180 degrees Fahrenheit. The problem is that this heater is in the basement, and I don't want to visit the basement every day to monitor the gauge. I could upgrade to a more modern heater with a digital gauge and then use an ESP chip to pull the data into Home Assistant. But that's not really an option at this time though, because a modern heater is at least $7,000 and another $1,000 for install labor. The cheapest and easiest solution is to just aim a camera at the gauge and let AI spits out the values to be used in Home Assistant. Here I'm mounting the camera onto a piece of plywood and then place it next to the heater. But when you place any normal camera this close to a subject, it will be very blurry. These security cameras are meant to focus things at least 10 feet away, not 1 feet. To focus on close subject, we'll use a diopter as seen in this previous video. I guess I can 3D print an adapter to hold the diopter to the camera. For simplicity's sake, I just use electrical tape to hold the diopter in place. It's not pretty, but it works. Here's the raw image taken from the camera. Everything is in focus and it looks great. And if you're curious why the image is in black and white, that's because I turned the basement light off. It's not always on to save electricity. We need to get this snapshot into Home Assistant. Go ahead and open up your configuration.yaml file. Add this line of code in. Camera. Give your camera a name and the still image URL. The still image URL will start with HTTP. Most camera, like the Reolink Lumos Pro that I covered in the previous video, will have both RTSP for viewing a video stream as well as a HTTP link for taking snapshots, the still image. If you are actually using a Reolink, the format will be something like this. Don't forget to change your username. Mine is admin. Change your password, which is in this case pass123, and finally the IP address of the camera. This is why I have a static IP assigned to all my devices on the network, because if the IP address changes due to a router restart or something, then the whole setup will fail. While you're in the configuration file, create another section for an input number, a unique name, and a friendly name. There's the min, max, and the unit of measurements will be in PSI. Since I'm using this Tapo, it only has RTSP, which is only for video, not for snapshots. Luckily, I'm using Blue Iris as the NVR to record 24/7. It can convert RTSP into HTTP with snapshot. If this is your first time adding a Tapo into Blue Iris, please refer to this previous video on how. Once you add it into Blue Iris, go ahead and right-click on the camera, go to Camera Settings, go to Video tab, checkbox Area of Interest. By default, the area of interest will be the whole screen, the whole gauge with both temperature and pressure. Since we only care about pressure for now, we're just going to highlight it and then click on OK. The reason why we're only highlighting pressure is because we don't want the AI to be confused which one is pressure and which one is Fahrenheit. Let's go ahead and add the temperature in right now. Go to the plus icon on the upper right hand corner. Name this one temperature. Take note of the short name of this camera. Click on OK. RTSP format for the Tapo link looks like this. Click on OK. Click on OK. Once added in, you can see the whole gauge. To isolate just temperature, we're going to do the same thing as before. Right click, go to Camera Settings, Video tab, Checkbox area of interest. Click on Edits. Highlight the temperature section. Click OK. Click OK. Beautiful. So this camera is now only for temperature. Perfect. With the camera working in Blue Iris, we can get the snapshot. This is the HTTP that we want, followed by the credentials of your Blue Iris and the IP address. /image/temperature, which is the short name of this camera. If you copy all that and paste it in your browser and hit enter, the user ID and the password will be erased, and you'll be able to see the snapshot of the temperature that we want. I haven't set up the temperature automation for this video yet, just because the numbers are not very easy to read. I doubt AI can read this. This is really easy to fix. All I have to do is create a piece of paper right here with some labels on it and with bigger numbers for AI to read. Later on, I found out I can add digital image overlay in Blue Iris. Following the same format, this is what the snapshot from the pressure gauge looks like. Since I've already done the pressure in Home Assistant, we're going to do the same thing for the temperature. So let's do add integration, generic camera. The still image URL is the HTTP that we got from Blue Iris. This is the format in case you forgot. Go down. Click on this to uncheck Verify SSL. Click on Submit. Checkbox, everything looks good because it does look good. And then go all the way down and click on Submit. Give it a name. This will be heat temperature. Assign an area if you want. I'm going to label it basement, and then click on Finish. Here, it doesn't show up the name. It just shows the IP address, and that's okay. Just click on it, and it will grab a snapshot and display it on screen. We can see the temperature is about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Another way you can check snapshots are working is by going into Settings, Integration, find the generic camera, click on Devices, I have 7. Click on any camera to view the snapshots. Here is my real link in the kitchen. Click on it. And there you go, my messy kitchen snapshot. By the way, if this video is helpful, please consider subscribing and liking the video. This lets YouTube know my video is indeed helpful and will recommend it to others like yourself. Now we need to install this awesome integration to analyze the snapshot. Go to this GitHub website, scroll down a little bit. On the right-hand side, click on Releases. The latest version as of now is October 8th, 2025. Click on Source Code all the way down to the bottom. Open up the zip file. Go to Custom Components. Open another window. Go to your HA config folder on your network. Here's the IP address of my Home Assistant, and then click on the config folder. Find Custom Components. Drag the LLM Vision into this custom component folder on your HA machine. When you open the folder, it should look something like this with all the files in there. Now, go back to your Home Assistant. Go ahead and restart it. I'm going to use Terminal, but you can also use the Restart function in the Settings tab. In Terminal, type in HA Core Restart. Once HA restarted, go ahead and go to Settings. Go down a little bit to Integration. Add Integration. Search for LLM Vision. Right here. Scroll all the way down to the bottom and then click on Submit. Click on Add Entry. Select from the drop-down list. I tried Grok, but in my experience, it is not good for analyzing gauge. Google Gemini is shockingly good, so we'll select Google. Click on Submit. It needs your API key. To get your API key, go to this website, aistudio.google.com. Create a new project. Name it whatever you want. In my case, I already have it, so I'm just going to click on LLM in HA. That's what I name mine. Give it a name, and then click on Create Key. Here are some of my keys that's already generated. I can click on any to view the full API key. If this is your first time creating a key, most likely you'll see something about free tier, and that's not going to work. You have to set up your billing. I believe if you use a certain number of image recognition per day, then it's free. Otherwise, they'll start charging your credit card. I'm using it to analyze about 2 images per day, and that's good enough to be in the free tier. I haven't seen my credit card charged yet. Now that you've got your API key, go ahead and paste it in. Scroll all the way down. You can change this value if you want, but I'm going to keep it as default. Click on Finish. We got both the hardware and software in place. Let's set up an automation. Go to Settings, Automation. Create a new automation. I've already created mine, so I'm just going to click on it. It looks a little bit confusing, but we can walk through the whole process. Since I'm using the free version of Google Gemini, I just want the updates every day at noon. I honestly don't know what the limit is before Google starts charging my credit card. If you do know, please let everyone know in the comment section below. The trigger will be every day when it hits 12:01 p.m. It's going to perform these actions. First will be the image analyzer. The provider will be Google Gemini. The prompt is, what value is the needle pointing at on the attached photo? Just output the number, no text. I don't know if it matters or not, but I'm just going to checkbox remember. The image entity will be the header. The target width will be all the way to 1920, how big of the image it wants to analyze. Maximum token, you might want to limit the number of credits you use. I don't think this will matter because we're on the free tier. I'll checkbox it anyway. The response variable will be the LLM_response. Next up, it's going to set the value to an entity, which was the input number we defined earlier in the configuration.yaml file. The value will be whatever we got from the LLM_response variable up here. This value will be a text. We need to convert that to an integer, so that's why you have to use this funky syntax right here. Click on the upper right-hand corner and go to Edit in YAML. This will allow you to view the whole code in YAML format. For security's sake, I cover up my provider key. You should have your own key once you set up everything correctly, as seen in the previous section of setting up the LLM Vision. Don't worry about pausing the video. I'm going to share all these YAML code in a link down in the comment section below. When this automation executes without errors, then the input value will be updated. To view the value manually, go to the Developers tab on the left-hand side. Click on the States tab. Search for the input value that you define, and there it is. You can certainly set another automation to alert you when this value is over the safety threshold. Just for fun, if you want to see the numbers yourself, you can always go to Actions tab, input all of the values that we had before. The image entity will be the pressure, and then click on Perform Action. Right now, the pressure gauge is at 12, and that is indeed correct. Besides analyzing gauges, others have set LLM Vision to be their security guard. It monitors the cameras and output a detailed text describing whatever it sees. I'm curious what you would do with all of this knowledge. Please let everyone know in the comment section below what project you use AI for. Alright, hopefully you found this video helpful. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and thanks for watching.